Hi, I'm AnnMaria De Mars. I am the principal investigator and one of the trainers here at Growing Math. You can always reach me at growingmath at 7generationgames.com. That's the number 7. I'm AnnMaria. I'd be happy to hear from you and answer any questions anytime at all. So what is Growing Math? You possibly heard about it from someone at your school, your district, someone told you should attend the training or download the software. So what exactly is Growing Math? It is a free new platform that provides educators the tools and training they need to best serve students in tribal areas, rural communities, and in urban cities with significant Indigenous population. And it's funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Growing Math is cross-curricular. This is something I super believe in after over 30 years of teaching math at all levels from middle school through doctoral students, at doing lots of research on what makes effective teaching, that lessons that integrate math with social studies, language arts, and other fields like agricultural science, all of which is done in the Growing Math Project, make more sense to kids. They're more likely to retain it. They're more likely to be interested. So all of Growing Math is cross-curricular. Growing Math integrates games, ready to implement lesson plans that are ready to just grab and go, digital resources like videos, online activities, assessment of how much your students are learning, and data reports. All of that in a super easy to access platform. Where is that platform, you might be asking? Here's the spot where you really want to go. growingmath.org. And as you'll see right here, there are several things that are useful for teachers right away. There's the Getting Started site that will give you the 30-second intro of how you access all the resources. The main way is to attend the training. If you didn't, the training is free. Lessons. This is the thing that most teachers really like the most about the Growing Math program. You can get lessons for anything from 3rd through 7th grade now. We're adding 8th grade lessons very shortly. So maybe by the time you watch this video, they'll be there. And let's take a quick example. Let's say 3rd grade mathematics. You're teaching multiplication. Here are a lot of different videos, lessons all put together to teach multiplication, like the rabbit stew and multiplication. This is a 10-minute lesson that you can use for warm-up. Every lesson shows the standards that are taught. This one includes a video. It includes a game where students play tic-tac-toe. If they get it right, they get a rabbit. So they watch this video about rabbit stew. Then they play a tic-tac-toe game where if you answer the math problem correctly, this one's on multiplication because it's for 3rd graders, you get a rabbit. If you get the problem wrong, you just get an empty snare. And then you can go into the wigwam and buy things like corn and fish and find out what else was part of the traditional Ojibwe diet. And the assessment, each of these games has data reporting. So your students' performance, how many math problems answered correctly, we recorded. So that is a 10-minute lesson. On completely the other extreme, we have here the Scrambled States of Agriculture. This one is 3 to 4 hours over 4 or 5 sessions. This is at the 4th grade level. All of our lessons tell you how long it's going to take, what technology is required, if any, what lessons go with it. In this case, this goes with a Scrambled States Ag in the Classroom Language Arts Unit. And it has a really cool activity on garden in a glove. And then after a couple weeks, when it's grown, your students are going to record the measurements. If your students don't know how to create a line plot, there's a video for that. If you want them to do it with Jamboard, say your students are learning at home, there's a video for that. Here's an explanation of the assessment. And I know I'm leaping through all this, but this is why it's called the Getting Started Guide. This is just to show you what's here. Now we're going to take another couple of minutes and just loop through a really short video we've put together of an aggregation of some of the games and some of the examples of videos and other resources that you'll find here on the Growing Math site.
The Spaniards arrived, and have brought with them death and destruction, primarily in the form of disease.
I'm Dr. Edwin, the inventor of the robots we use here.
Hi there. I've heard you're having some trouble with fractions and decimals. You're going to need to know this, whether it is finding the probability of dying of a disease or estimating your chance of success as a sheep farmer. This is really useful information. The essential question: how to express fractions as decimals. Well, you use long division.
6 times 3 equals 18.
Shak be'akika leyamaniki ake shagaloha.
Today we're doing a math lesson.
A math lesson? I thought it was a baking lesson.
It's a math and a baking lesson.
How's your math lesson?
Like this. We're making cookies.
I like cookies.
Who doesn't like cookies? But in order to make the cookies, we're going to have to do some math.
Why?
The recipe calls for 4 dozen cookies, but Mom says that's too many, so we need to do math. So here's the recipe. It calls for 2 1/4 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 sticks of butter.
So now you've seen the games that are available. You can get those all here. Go to the training. You will get a link. It will give the password, and it will let you in to get all of the games. In addition, there are data reports. So here I have some students that I have already added into my classroom. So this is me. I could go ahead and see what has the student done. I'm a very hardworking student. You can see how many questions I answered correctly that address the standard, like multiplying 2 two-digit numbers. So that gives you a real quick overview of what is here on the Growing Math site. There are lessons, there are games, there's reports and data. If you wanted to see what standard each game addressed, you could go here and click and see. So there you go. There's the lessons, the games, the reports and data, standards. This is obviously a super quick overview to all of this. If you attend the training, which is free, thank you to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, you'll be able to spend a couple of hours leisurely going through and taking a look in greater detail at what's available for you through Growing Math.